every step of your life, a lawyer is required. We have a concept called as love at first sight, divorce at first fight. As you told that in the basic education, the law has to be included. Yes, it is true.
How you manage to keep yourself peaceful and is your mental health affected and how you are tackling all those things. Men's are saying women's are not understanding, women's are saying men's are not understanding, and in recent days so it become like people are committing suicide also. So why what do you think, what's the main reason why this thing is increasing in the society nowadays? Welcome to another episode of Asli Kahani Podcast. And today's topic is something that everyone want to understand. See, in our daily life, from birth to death and daily cases also, where there are so many things that laws we have to follow and we have to be aware about the laws. To talk about all those things, we have a very special guest with us. So he has spent more than 7 years in this journey. So hi Prabhu sir, thanks for your time. Yeah, and today it's like this topic is really a very important topic that we want people should be aware about. So many things we don't know, and we generally think ki when we will face the thing, then we'll go to some consult some lawyer or we'll understand. But it's I feel it should this particular topic now feel that it should be there in the education curriculum also. So while taking our basic education only, people should be at least aware about few basic things that if they are going in the society they have encounter. So first thing what how like where I want to start is how often people comes to you and they are like completely blank about whatever things they are going through.
Every step of your life, a lawyer is required. Right from birth till your death. There are three major reasons for that. One being you do not know the law. Second being how to tackle the aspect what you're dealing with. Third being what is the solution you will be getting. So these are the three major things where a lawyer's focus comes about. Any small aspect in your life, as you told that in the basic education the law has to be included. Yes, it is true. Because the growth of legal education as on today is far more than any engineering or doctor. So every person requires a law education or a legal education which will benefit for himself.
So one thing I always like fascinated or I always want to ask when as a lawyer you are meeting so many people, so different cases they are coming to you telling your stories and mostly it's like sad stories. Uh, how you manage to keep yourself peaceful and is your mental health affected and how you are tackling all those
A
things.
very good question on that. See, majorly what happens in our profession, we tackle all kind of matters. It is not only particular aspect, because one might be having a very minute issue, one might be having an issue wherein his liberty is at stake. So the moment what I follow as a team, what we follow in my office is that the moment you go out of your office, everything has to be deleted from your head. One reason being that your family affairs will be affected if you go through that. So the moment anyone, because the moment anyone comes into my office as an intern or as an associate or as a junior, the first thing what we train them is that the client's problem is only limited to the office and there is no personal agenda. Once you're out of the office, whatever you're thinking should stop. Once you come back, you can think about the case and deal with it. So you cannot carry the bucket to your home.
So, as your expertise in marital cases, marital law, nowadays, I don't know whether because of media we are aware of all those cases, and like we are seeing so many cases like men's are saying women's are not understanding, women's are saying men's are not understanding, and in recent days, so it become like people are committing suicide also. Yes. So, why? What do you think? What's the main reason why this thing is increasing in the society nowadays?
First, people have to understand two things. Divorce as a matrimonial issue is increasing a lot. One major reason is that there is no age gap between the marriage. Because earlier, if you remember, you go to your forefathers, the age gap between husband and wife would be minimum of 4 years. Now, if you calculate it in that way, your husband or the wife is of the same age, carrying the same ego, carrying the same work, and earning equally. So, this is a major reason wherein if a wife can earn equivalent to the husband, do you really think that she will listen to the husband? One thing. If the husband is earning same as the wife and is in the higher capacity, do you think that he will listen to his wife? It is vice versa. So this is a major reason where there is no age gap, where there is most important thing is the money what it attracts. Everyone are thinking that they are financially free and they can deal with anything. So this is a major reason where we have huge number of matrimonial disputes. Now let us look into the history or the tackle at which the matrimonial disputes go with. 2024, the Bangalore Family Court had almost 9,000 cases. If you bifurcate it on each day, it is almost 30 to 35 cases each day. So these kinds of matrimonial cases are happening. Now let us take the recent one, 2025. We are hardly 4 months in 2021, 25. There are almost 3,000 cases already filed. So this is what it shows, that people are not ready to listen. People are willing to do what they want on an immediate basis. 2 minute ka pizza.
Correct.
That is what they focus on now.
Again, I think nowadays it's very common. Now we are seeing single mother, single father, and all those things. And so many people in recent cases, we have seen that they were not prepared for the marriage just because of
Family pressure.
family pressure, and more of family pressure nowadays. I feel people have that, oh, we have to do the grand party, we have to get Instagram for Instagram and other social media. They want to get married, and after few days, few months, they are like, no one, as you said, people are not adjusting and not like supporting each other. We all want, the way I want to live, I will live that way only. So I feel in marriages it's not possible to be the same person as you are before marriage. Everyone has to face few like changes and understand the other, give space to other person or your partner.
No, marriage is one such thing wherein the person has to think about himself or herself and about his spouse. Because nowadays, what it is happening, we have this concept of pre-wedding shoots, which was never followed, neither in our traditional practices nor have forefathers have done it. This is only to show how good we are, how much followers we have, how we look before the social media, only to attract social media followers, nothing else. The moment it comes to reality, marriage is between two different individuals who have to cope up with each other for rest of their life. The thing what can attract them to depart is the ego what they carry. Because husband is not ready to listen at all to his wife. He is fed up. And nowadays it is common that love marriages come for divorce. It is not even the arranged marriages. Because before marriage, they know everything about each other. After marriage, they do not have that fun to enjoy for the rest of their life.
There was some memes now, they were like the pre-wedding thing. In earlier days, that was was called as a like MMS or all those things. Now if you are meeting outside before marriage and all, it's like against the society. And I really want to understand one thing here, as we discussed, nowadays so many cases are coming. So giving like rising number matrimonial disputes, such as recent Subhash case and the
Yes, which went viral.
viral. Then Bangalore woman who was asking 6 lakhs per month as
Yes,
alimony.
that also went viral in YouTube.
So why again? Okay, I don't know whether I'm correct or not. You please correct me. I feel in recent days it have maybe so many women are gonna abuse me or something. That why it has become a trend that if you want to become successful, just marry a good man, a good person, and after some time take divorce, take money, and enjoy your life.
No, only certain things get viral in this era. But looking into the background, every case of Subhash is an example wherein what has been happening from long time. It went viral because the person had the capacity and had the knowledge to make such a big video and establish on YouTube so that the persons who are watching it should know the reality. But do you really think that there is no other Subhash case? There are many people who do this. And they do not go viral because they do not have that capacity to think about how to proceed after death. Because he had thought that if I die without even telling anything, then my case also will be closed. Now let us look into the present day. Do you really think that the Subhash case is open still? Any person in the social media is following it up? Yes, it went as a trend for few days, but every day a Subhash case happens.
That's what my next question about to like what happened now. It becomes so big issue. Everyone was speaking about that. Where is Subhash?
Everyone are silent now because the investigation is going on, the procedures are happening, it is before the court of law. It went viral only for the major reason being that how he was harassed, he had put it in a way easily understood by people. If he had complicated it and made a video and given it to only police, do you think that this used to come out? He took the courage of making the people understand that what he has gone through. What is true, what is false, it is before the court of law. The court will decide on that. But it went in a situation wherein the people started thinking that even a wife can go to such an extent.
And it's like that Subhash case time also we made one video that okay he was facing all those things, it's fine, but because that time also I understood ki after this video now we will see so many cases or so many videos will be coming out. People will be doing same thing. So I don't know like whether are we trying to set an example that justice can be achieved by death only. If there is no other way.
Death is for cowards, that is always told. You cannot kill your own self. That is why suicide or attempt to suicide is punishable. The moment you commit suicide or think about committing suicide, and if you are alive, then you are put under behind bars. Because attempt to suicide is an offense under the penal code. So death is not your choice. Death is a choice of the God. Whenever it comes, it has to come. Just because you want to set an example by creating certain aspect wherein you think that you were harassed or you did not get justice, because justice is a procedure wherein the process has to be followed. Because many of the people tell us that we have n number of litigations pending because we follow only one simple aspect, that principles of natural justice has to be followed. I have to be heard, the other person has to be heard, then the court will decide. It is not that one person thinks that he makes a hype out of social media telling that this is what has happened to me. Ever any individual has gone and made a video with his wife? Any interview is conducted? Have you seen anything interview conducted in by his wife? Did you listen to her story? Why? That is what the hype creation happens in the social media. The moment such hype is created, no one thinks the other way. They will just think that he is no more, meaning that something is wrong.
I think it's very right time to ask one question because they were already running. There was a case.
Multiple litigations were going on. Yes.
Once he committed suicide, that suicide is gonna loosen his case.
It depends upon the facts. Now, with what circumstances and what is the stage of the case? Because how he was harassed, every person thinks that the legal procedure is harassment because he has to go through. The person doesn't understand that the other person also should be heard. It is not I being correct, it is just that what is the justice to be obtained. I cannot be correct every time because according to me, I may be correct. But according to them, they will be correct. Once the court decides on it, it will be that. Yes, it was delayed, but he could have at least wait for few days. He could have followed few other procedures. Merely committing suicide is not at all an option. Now, what happens to his parents? Never ever has he thought about it because yes, very young boy or in his middle age, he has a child. Yes, he was going through, but if he could survive and he could tackle all this, he could have set an example.
Yeah, see, same thing now. There are so many people who are going through like bad marriages and all. So, what advice you want to give to people who are experiencing maybe either in the already in the case or either they are hesitating to ask and seek help? So, what would be your advice for those people?
Okay. Now, presently, what's going on is that we have a concept called as love at first sight, divorce at first fight. This is trending. The concept of love at first sight was there from quite a long time, but divorce at first fight was never there in at least in India. It is a newly trend from past 15 years because right from 2008 onwards, the matrimonial disputes have arisen. Where the recession started, the matrimonial disputes came ahead. So, advice to everyone is just that listen to your spouse. Earlier, we had something called as elderly system of settling the disputes, wherein we used to have panchayats. Still, we have, but how focused we are on that. We used to make all our elders sit together, talk, sit, sort, settle was followed. But now, no. I want to take a revenge. He has hurt me. Mentally, I have gone through depression. I have to teach him a lesson. Him or her, both are same now. The moment you get this thought process in your mind, then obviously the litigations do come. So it's always advice. So whoever comes for a divorce to me, I am a person who always think about sit, sort, settle. First, we do not directly file a divorce case. If a wife comes to me telling that my husband has an extramarital affair or is involving in such things which is hurting me on a legal aspect, then first thing what we do is that we do not file a case because it leads to multiple litigations. We are following a concept of pre-divorce notice, which is not the procedure also. It is just a legal notice informing him what he has done to his wife, so that making him understand that wife is aware about what all he has done and what all things she will carry as an evidence before the court of law. There are circumstances wherein the husbands have come back or wives have come back telling that yes, we will settle it off, we'll go for a mutual divorce, because mutual divorce is a very simple concept, no allegations levied. It is just that they will settle with whatever is the alimony or gold, silver, whatever has to be exchanged. Any children with regards to visitation, custody, they will decide. They'll file a petition before the court and the court grants divorce. It is just a out of court divorce itself. But it is done through a court of law as per the procedure. This is what we are focusing on because the litigation, once a matrimonial dispute starts, it will surely take 5 years. And no one has the mental capacity to sustain for 5 years.
Yes, you rightly said. Like, it's always better to get mutual thing because if you enter in the case, then many things gonna suffer. You have to come again and again. Your growth is stuck. You can't take decisions for so many things. Mostly people want to get into relationship again that you can't do.
Most people focus on
Every
that.
day you are increasing your like your age is increasing. So it's always better if it's not working out instead of fighting and putting allegations on each other.
That is the sole reason what we do whenever a husband or wife comes to us. First, we will understand whether the person is sure that he wants to depart. Because out of a small fight, a person will come telling that I want divorce. It's out of a very minute fight. But we will give the person a bit of time, because out of that anger, you will decide. Once you settle, you will understand whether you want the divorce or not. So always we give the spacious time of 15 days, 20 days, so that the person comes back again. He or she will understand that what he has told on the day one is completely different. Because out of small fights, because of the hectic, busy schedule, small fights do happen. So that should not lead to divorce. It is just that you have to wait patiently, make yourself understand that yes, I don't want to stay with this person. Then the concept of matrimonial disputes start.
Before moving to another, because matrimonial is something why I started with matrimonial, because it's really like many people are facing issues,
Yes,
and it's
yes.
destroying the families, not only the couples. And when it comes to families, because marriage is not only between two people, it's between two
Yes, two
families,
different families, culture.
culture. And then once you have kids, you are deciding, okay, I'm not happy with my partner, you are departing. Then what about your kids? How their kids mental health is getting impact, their life is getting impact.
That's a very good topic. What you want me to discuss? Kids are the most sufferers out of a matrimonial dispute. A 2-year-old child wants to always play with his father and mother, because he or she doesn't know what is happening between them. He or she will surely, the child will surely suffer. So it is always advised that if you are thinking about something called as divorce, don't go for kids. As the moment your marriage life crosses 5 years, the compatibility will be more. Because what we are seeing now, it is only within less than 5 years of marriage they are coming for divorce, because there is no kids. They are not. Now we have a concept telling that both are not entertaining each other. वो मजा नहीं आ रहा है. So the moment that fun is not there, then the matrimonial life does not survive. That is why we always tell we always tell our clients, if you have children, please reconcile, because the child's growth is the utmost importance for us. You be apart, but at least for the child's sake, you be together. We have many cases who have come with divorces when the child is 6 years old, 10 years old, wherein as per them, they are staying separately only, but as per child, they are together. The child will be told, because at the age of 14, 15, the child will understand what is happening between my father and mother. At that time, you can reveal, but at the age of 4, 5, and 6, it's very hard to make a child understand what the spouses are going on.
These marital laws are like, to talk about marital law, it's endless. Let's move to, there is another big issues what we are seeing nowadays. It's accident happening in the streets, and like, so I really want to understand what all basic thing people have to understand when they are on the roads.
A basic trend is that the moment you see accident, rather than calling ambulance, you have something called as cameras. They want the person to go viral within seconds. One good thing is that at least awareness is created through that, but that leads to many of the other aspects. You're violating the person's privacy, because he is already in pain and you want to shoot a video. Obviously, this is not legal in law. If the victim who has met with an accident has a complete authority to take legal actions, he can claim damages. He can tell that his privacy is violated. There are many aspects where the victim can consider. But now, what is a trend happening? Rather than calling ambulance, they will make videos, put it on their Twitters, Instagram, WhatsApp, just make it viral. And they go to an extent telling that they take a selfie with the victim, showing that how bad is a car. I'm standing with the car, the blood is flowing here, because we have seen many videos. The blood flows, they take a selfie with the blood. That is a mindset.
Very sick mindset. And like, I've seen few people, they are recording and saying, see, people are standing and no one is helping. And I'm like, what you are doing there? You are making video of that. And you are complaining others are not helping.
Blame comes because they tell that ambulance came late,
Mm.
police did not come on time. As a person, if you see an accident, your first instinct is to go and help him. Some people are worried, what if I help him, police will take my statement, I have to go before the court if something happens. This is a mindset, but this mindset has to change. The If you are adapting to taking a video of the victim, then you have to adapt to help the victim and make him benefit out of it. And that is not followed. The trend will come, even that trend also will come, wherein the helping nature will be back.
Yeah, it was there in our society.
Long
We are
back, yes.
losing that. And again, it's a circle. Things has to come back. We are going back towards the thing. So, what are the let's take this is what we spoke, it's about the spectators who are seeing us. As a person, if I am getting hit with someone or my car get crashed, so what is like first step I should do, and what are the advantages and disadvantages we have to contact police?
Okay. So it's always advised contact police, because reason being that you're hurt. So if you have an insurance, then you will get yourself admitted, you get yourself. If there is no negligence on your part, then it will be a proof that the other person has to pay compensation. If you contact police and initiate a case or a first information report on the aspect what has happened, it's always advised to do that, because it's always advised to go legally, how a legal case has to be initiated for an accidental claim. Second thing comes is that your vehicle is involved. The insurance company does not pay you 100% just by telling that it is a self damage. You have to show at least a record which tells that the damage is occurred by a third party vehicle. For the victims over there, if something is to be projected tomorrow that what has happened to him, it's always told that you have to file an FIR on the incident happened. Because everything on the law and order is always maintained by police. The accident which you think that is small might be a case wherein a person might have planned it. You think that this is just a small accident wherein a truck has hit you, no damage done. It's hardly a small damage or a dent. But do you know that this damage is gonna cause a life for you? Or there is a planning which is happening back. And these kinds of cases have come before the court. Because initially they were told, as in they had already faced certain minute accidents, very minute accidents. One case had come to me way back in 2021. It was near HSR. The person, this I will not take the names, the person had met with two accidents prior to the third accident. This is an husband and wife dispute only. He ignored it. In the third accident, it went to an extent that he lost his backbone, as in his backbone was completely hurt, wherein he had to suffer for almost 2 years. During the course of investigation, what transpired is that everything was planned by his brother. The earlier accidents also. If he had not ignored those two accidents, then he would have not been in that position. This is a live case which was decided by the court of law. Just there was a property dispute. It's not even a dispute. The property dispute had not even come. This person was an unmarried last brother. There is two other brothers who wanted to kill him so that they can take 50-50 share. And this person was little rebel kind, not used to listen to their brothers, was enjoying his own life, not married, no family affairs, nothing, no family tensions and all. So they thought that if the person dies, no one is going to question. So if he had already focused on getting the earlier two accidents to reported, then something would have been happened. And now he is alive, hale and healthy. But he had to go through this process for 3 years.
And what if he's not able to recover?
Yes. By God's grace, everything is good. But think the other way around. If he had died, this would never have come out. As an accident, it would have been closed. He survived, investigation happened. This is what it normally focuses on.
One thing I really want to understand, because in our country it should not be like this, but it's very common that people have no proper documents of their vehicles, and they met in an accident. So to avoid that, what all, like, still they have something that yes, they should file, okay, your documents are not proper, okay, you don't have license, still, because they have that hesitation, they don't know, oh, I will be like more penalized, that's why they ignore. So what do you suggest, like, what should they?
Oh, great. This is a great question wherein if the vehicle doesn't have a document, then obviously the liability will come on him. If you do an accident and you do not have a third party policy, then the other person who has suffered it has to pay it personally. Because the insurance company will tell that there is no policy, there is no DL. Now, earlier, what used to happen, we have two kinds of categories of vehicle: light motor vehicle non transport and light motor vehicle transport. Now, courts have come across telling that having a license of LMV NT is equivalent to transport, and having a license of LMV transport is equivalent to non transport, because there is no change. You're just, the vehicle is differing. One is a non-transport vehicle, one is a transport vehicle. The license what they are holding is of the same nature. Earlier, the insurance companies used to take this tackle telling that the person who has driven the vehicle does not have a license of LMV NT. He has only the transport vehicle wherein he drives his Tata Ace, a small vehicle which is transporting. He doesn't have a non-transport, so the moment he does a car accident, the claim should not be done. Now, the courts have come with a clear perspective telling that the nature of the license is similar. Then you cannot bifurcate telling that whether it is a transport vehicle or a non-transport vehicle. Irrespective of year, you have to make the claim payment.
Like, like we are talking about road accidents, and in recent days two cases are very popular. One is Pune Posh case,
Yes,
and the another one is the recent
the recent.
Gujarat case.
Yes.
So what's your take on that?
The first case what you're talking about is a minor involvement, wherein the juvenile board. It also went viral because 300 words essay had to be written. That case makes us understand that as a parent, what should be given to a child and how the child's growth has to be monitored. The person who was involved, I'll not take the names, he was 17 years old, hardly 1 year to be a major. If he had been a major, then the consequence would have been different. It would have been completely the other way around. Now it took some aspects wherein something internally was involved. Those are the things which even the medias have come up with. Now the case is pending before the court of law. But what we have to learn out of that is that one thing, below 18, you should not give your child any vehicle. Any kind of vehicle should not be given to. The second case, what you're talking about, is this Gujarat, wherein the university case, the person involved was a law student, very recent one, but the audacity what he carried after the situation, after the accident, was in question. The statements given by him, that was in question. That itself shows that the mindset what a person carries.
The statements are gonna help him,
Yes, it is going to help.
because so many people are
See,
saying
anything told beyond the court is nothing before the court. You call it as a police statement, you call it as a public statement. Anything told before police is not admissible in the court. The same thing has to be again told before the court of law. A statement has to be recorded by the jurisdictional magistrate on the same aspect. You might tell that I've done it before the police, and you come back telling before the court that I've never done it. That is what is actually the procedure as per the court of law. You have to come to the court, tell the same statement if you are feeling that the statement is correct. Because before the police, statement can be anything.
One very important thing I want to ask: what all is acceptable in court of law when it comes to electronic media? And nowadays, like people are recording calls.
The law has evolved now. Earlier, we had something called as primary evidence and secondary evidence. Never ever we had a concept of something called as photographs or videographs as a primary evidence. Neither those conversations, chats, because they had to be authenticated by the technical experts,
Okay.
forensic experts. Now, under the new law, those are also considered as a primary evidence. So now, in this present era, anything and everything which is admissible or which is readable before the court of law is evidence. In matrimonial disputes, we have WhatsApp conversations as an evidence before the court of law. A message called "Hi darling" has led to a divorce. This message was just sent by one of his friend during the normal conversations. But the husband thought that she has something else. The thing went to an extent wherein we had a counseling also to both of them, but they thought that they, just because of one message, if my husband is thinking in such a way, it's better we'll go for a divorce.
I have a friend like it was he received one message and that message was blank.
Mhm.
I and his partner, she has imagined like complete story in that blank message, and that they have like fought for many months. They didn't spoke, but again, luckily they got like okay,
That
it's
is why
fine.
we focus on sit, sort, settle.
Yeah.
The moment you sit with the person and discuss what is happening, then many problems will come. It will be resolved because the moment you sit and talk about the problem, you will understand what is the nature the other person is thinking. What is his thought process on that aspect? The classic case what I dealt was this high darlings case. We call it as high darlings case in our office also. The husband brought this message to us telling that my wife got a message that was during a midnight conversation. So he thought that there is something else. We called the wife, we spoke. She just told that, sir, out of friendship, many people do this. My friend has done. I know that is out of the context what has come, but there is nothing. But the husband never ever thought about this. And the wife also thought that only because of a message, because we did almost 3 counselings for that couple, but also they were not in the condition to understand each other.
Okay. As most of the time you are saying that you always try to make them of like compromise, come sit and talk. So I want to understand like what you generally tell your clients ki how, because when you are saying they have their own story in their mind. Yeah, how you make them understand or what you tell them ki listen this and give at least open your ears and listen to the other person. What all things you recommend them to do that?
See, there is always cooling period in a matrimonial dispute.
Okay.
If a person comes to you on the day one telling that this is what has happened, we always make him calm first, understand what is his problem, call the spouse, understand what is the story on behalf of her, make them sit and talk. The first focus will always be that what is the facts what have been driven through this. If there are settleable issues wherein a misunderstanding, ego clashes, financial dealings, yes, nowadays this is what is happening. Why should I take money from my husband for my pockets? I am earning. Now husband will be like, I'm earning good. I'll also give my wife. Let she also have something, let she save. The moment husband goes and gives it, she will get offended. आप कैसे पैसे दे सकते हो मेरे को? I am sufficiently earning. If you sit and sort these kinds of disputes, then divorces will surely come down.
Yeah. Here I want to mention one thing, like we generally sees because I'm a psychotherapist, so we recommend everyone keep meditation. Do meditation, you will find answers for many things, and whatever wrong thoughts you are having, that will filter. So how often you recommend meditation to your clients? And
I always recommend being silent whenever the fight happens. Silence is the best at that moment answer. Because every time you cannot be silent. If there is a clash happening at the house, then one person has to go silent.
because we have never seen anyone doing or saying good thing while they are angry,
Yes.
and later
Every blame comes out when they are angry.
anger, and later we only regret ki what we did by that time. Oh my god, what I spoke. Because
Once spoken is never taken back.
I always says their shabd, the word, when we say shabd, that is closed. When our lips get closed, when we are, and the meaning of that earth is open. So what, and there is so many incidents that the same word has a different meaning for you, for me. As you said, hi darling. That's a very right example of word and meaning also. The word was for some other intention, the other person what they received, they have no control on the meaning, the earth. So it's really good if we understand this small thing. Ki whenever you are angry, just be silent, give and
Be silent to that extent wherein the anger
sometime.
comes down.
Yeah.
Then sit and talk, because any kind of disputes, I'm not even talking about the matrimonial disputes, any kind of disputes between the family or outside the family also can be resolved by just having a conversation.
That's why we generally say, na, time has the answer for everything. Just give time and you'll get the answer. You said, na, right? Whenever, like, just sit, talk, and do. So here I want to answer, like, uh, same. You are saying a mediation over direct court battles. So could you explain why mediation often leads to better outcome?
Okay, so we have a concept under the family law that every dispute has to be referred to mediation.
Correct.
We have a full-fledged mediation center, earlier known as Bangalore Mediation Center, now it is known as Karnataka Mediation Center, with 100 plus highly talented, educated, professionally good mediators. They are not the advocates, they professionally they are advocates, but they are not the advocates of any of the party. They act as an independent body. So this was established under, we have a provision under the Civil Procedure Code, Section 89, outside court settlements. That might be a arbitration, that might be a mediation, that might be a conciliation or lok adalat. You might have heard about lok adalats wherein traffic challans are discounted in lok adalats, because nowadays lok adalat is famous for that. Because आपका ट्रैफिक चलान जो भी है 1,000 रुपए है 500 कर देंगे, so that it will be resolved. So those are the things which are dealt under Section 89 of the Civil Procedure Code. We have a full-fledged mediation center, Bangalore Mediation Center. Think that I file a divorce on behalf of a wife and the husband appears before the court through his counsel. Then the first step what the court does is to refer the matter to a mediation. That is one of the mandatory procedure as per law now. It is not only in matrimonial disputes, any disputes civil in nature, like a rent between a tenant and a landlord, a dispute of property sharing between the brothers or children, any dispute which is of civil nature, the court can refer the matter to a mediation. That is how we have our Karnataka Mediation Center. Approximately every day, around 150 cases are taken up. And at what progress the mediation center works is almost at the rate of 60%, which is reducing your litigation. Once the mediation starts, there is something called as introductory concept, wherein you introduce yourselves. What is a dispute? I tell. As a counsel, we tell what is a dispute. Then there is something called as private sessions, wherein the mediator will sit with the person, either it might be the petitioner or a plaintiff. They will sit with the person and understand what is the dispute. One on one, like a psychiatric treatment. What is happening with you? Why did this dispute come? What is the resolution you're opting at? There is a one on one session. It's a procedure wherein the mediation center follows. Then the respondent is called out, a one on one session is done. Then they come up with a resolution. We call it as mediation report. Once you authenticate that or sign it and execute it, that is kept before the court, and court will cross verify whether you have signed it or not, because you should not have signed it under duress, under stress, or on the point of gun. And that might also happen sometimes, wherein under some anxiety or stress, or with some other considerable examples or consideration, you might have signed it. It will come back to the court once you authenticate that this is signed with my full will. Then the court will consider whatever is written in the report as full and final. You have to follow it.
Uh, One thing I want you to tell to all the audience, like as you said, there are different type of courts. So if you can just briefly explain ki what kind of court is for what kind of matters.
Okay. Majorly, as all public know, there are something called as civil courts, criminal courts, and family courts. Excluding that, there are many number of courts. Industrial disputes go to the labor courts. Any dispute with regards to taxation goes to the appellate tribunals. Any dispute with regards to recovery of debts go to the debt recovery tribunal. Any dispute with regards to the company goes to NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. There are n number of tribunals which are established. The major focus on courts will be on the civil nature, criminal nature, as well as matrimonial courts. And most of the cities do not have family courts. It is the principal senior civil judge who is considered as a family judge under the Family Courts Act. Well, taking it as an example, Bangalore is a city which has 7 family courts because of the rise of cases. The highest number of family courts also is equivalence with the Bombay. Bombay also has 7 family courts. One union territory, that is Delhi, which has the highest number of family courts. 31 family courts are there. Out of majorly, it is divided into East Delhi, West Delhi, South, North, Rohini, and there are 6 aspects which has been divided. So there are 31 family courts. You will be shocked to know that UP is a state which has most number of matrimonial disputes. Family courts. The pending litigation itself goes in lakhs. As a whole state, UP is one. Then comes Maharashtra.
Is it like if we can like any idea about like more matrimonial issues are coming in the tier 1 cities, tier 2, tier 3? What's the ratio like number? What's the
It
difference?
is now tier 1 cities.
It's tier 1 cities.
Tier 1 cities.
It's maybe majorly because of the lifestyle and
Metropolitan lifestyle and fast movement, or you want it in a speedy disposal case because of that.
I don't know whether it's related or not, but do you think is it because nowadays we want everything in seconds, 30
Yes,
seconds,
yes,
now
yes.
2 minute delivery, 5 minutes
Yes.
delivery. So our concentration span is reducing.
Yes.
We are not like ready to give time to anything.
Yes.
And every 30 seconds we want some different masala,
Yes.
different thought, different
Yes.
vibration.
Instant. We call it as instant.
Instinct. So is it that can be a one reason?
Yes, that is one of the major reason. That is one of the major reason wherein the tier 1 cities, wherein we focus on getting instant things. Many clients who come to me, the first question is, sir, कितने दिन में हो जाएगा? I need to make them sit and understand what is the entire procedure. It is not then, it will take years. So it is every person with a thought process that at least 2-3 दिन में खत्म कर दीजिए sir. I need to make the person understand that yours is not only the case the court has. Lakhs of litigations are pending. Everything should follow a procedure.
Is it like a requirement of court is giving time for a reason, or it's just because they don't have the strength to listen?
There are many reasons for that. One, the procedure has to be followed. Without giving notice to the other party, do you really think that the other party will understand what is happening? If you send a post, how many days it will take to deliver? You send it to Delhi. You're in Bangalore, you send it to Delhi. There is a gap of 4 days. The moment there is a gap of 4 days, the court has to give that gap. And the other person should also get an opportunity to consult a lawyer. Just because the notice is delivered, he cannot appear on the next date. He has to, a date will be given wherein it is always focused that the sufficient time the other person has to consult an advocate, make himself understand what it is. So every step has a procedure to be followed. That is why we call it as we follow the complete concept of principles of natural justice. Without hearing the other party, no judgment is passed.
How much do you think that awareness about court and issues are required? As we said initially, also it should come in the education. It's
Yes.
not coming.
Yes.
Okay, but what all do you think, educating, what all are the other ways that government should start to educate public about the basic
Awareness.
laws? And
Yeah, it's the primary education should involve mainly your school education. Because the moment you commit something or you do some offense, just because you are innocent, the court will not look into that. Your innocence has no role before the court. Just because you tell that I did not know that doing this is an offense. That is why we always tell teach law, at least the common laws wherein your day to day affairs are involved. This should normally happen during the school education. We have a concept of teaching Constitution of India once you come into your +1 +2 or in your pre-university PU education, this one degree education, but that is just for the paper's sake. But rather than focusing only teaching the Constitution, it's always advised to teach everything which a basic need of a human is survived.
so, as you rightly, we are discussing the same thing. Education. We need to educate. We'll try. Even I really want few things to add in the curriculum. One is law, and because it's really required. Until it's not happening, okay. Let's take this medium as an opportunity. Yes, we are spreading awareness. So, what all few major misconceptions you feel like public have about the legal identities and all?
See, the major misconception what a person faces as a general public who doesn't know what is a court, who doesn't know what is a law, is through the movies. One bad thing, what a public get to us, they come to us telling that, sir, movie में तो ऐसे हो जाएगा. But they need to understand that there is a huge difference. What is shown is not actually what is practiced. The moment they come before actual court of law, they are shocked. Because जो भी दिखा, these many years, all the film industry, all the TV industry, what they have shown is only one aspect. Arguments होता है कोर्ट में, but arguments ही नहीं होता है. There are different procedures which have to be followed. Examination is shown before the court, that is a cross examination. Witness को बुलाया जाएगा, witness को सवाल पूछा जाएगा. ऐसे नहीं होता है कोर्ट में. Prior application has to be filed, the court has to allow it, witness has to be called, witness has to be numbered, documents have to be numbered earlier. Then you can go with the cross examination. It is not the way it is shown before the court of law, before the TVs, movies. It's completely different before the court of law. That is a general misconception. Any person comes with us, they will tell that sir मूवी में तो 2 मिनट में कोर्ट खत्म हो जाता है, नॉर्मल कोर्ट में इतना दिन क्यों लगता है, why so much delay? And if you have seen in movies, the judge sits only for that case and he goes back. That does not happen like that. It normally doesn't happen like that. We have never seen a case only for one case the judges come. There will be a list prepared, the stages will be mentioned. Every stage there will be matters listed. Then the procedure is taken. And it is very hard for the general public for us to make them understand that this is a procedure.
And is it like many as my exposure to court is also from the movies only?
Yes.
It was like that.
The semicircular, yes, that is a podium what has been used. Semicircular where advocates sit, that is correct. The judge sits, there's a court officer, there's a witness box.
Okay.
Every court doesn't have a witness box. It is just few courts which have.
Because back in like maybe 10-15 years back, I filed one complaint against BSES, that's the electricity board in Delhi. Then I was called in the court, and my perception is that same. I've been there, I'm like, where is the court? He's like, this is the court. It was just one room, there is no podium, nothing, only one small wooden block was there.
That's true.
So there are different things.
There are different things because now high courts, because of this YouTube live and all, now at least people have understood how the court proceedings are happening. Earlier it was very difficult. Before COVID, it was really very difficult for a public to make them understand that what is a court. We need to literally make them come to the court, understand this is what the court looks like, this is how the procedure happens, wherein your list item number is so and so, you will be called, you need to appear before the court. Now, after this live sessions, what have been broadcasted before in YouTube and social media, people have understood that the courts work in a proper way. It's not the movie courts.
Okay, so as you said, now there are so many cases pending, and as a career, now I really want like people who are planning to come into the law career. So, what is your advice about to them? Like, what all they should be prepared while they are entering? Because as I understood, we think that okay, you are handling my case now. Okay, that is fine. Like that, you are handling multiple cases, and it's not only going there and speaking. What to speak? You should read a lot, and same thing with judges also. Like
read a
every
lot.
few minutes, it's a different case.
Different case, yes.
And-
they read a lot because what the judiciary is following or the trend before the judiciary, judges read a lot more than what an advocate reads, because for an advocate that is a only file, or there are few files. For judges it is n number of files which come on the daily basis. As we as an advocate, we have to understand that the judges have very limited time and they read a lot. When once a judge is looking into the file, he has a prior information on what this file is.
It's correct.
It is not just that file आगे आया है, file सामने आए तो he will look into that. He will do his preparation and come. Now, looking into the career advice on whether how law is important, I will tell about my own law firm. So, we started in 2020-21. So, I am a graduate of 2018. So, in our profession, we have a trend telling that you have to work as a junior at least for 3 to 5 years. But I did not follow that because of one senior who I had in my career. Because I graduated in 2018 with a simple agenda that I will work under a senior, make myself understand what is the process, procedure, knowledge. So it happened within a couple of years. The moment my senior told me this, he made me understand one simple concept. Let us take an example of Bangalore. What do you think a salary of a junior advocate is who is a fresher?
10,000, 15.
Exactly. You go to tier 2, tier 3 cities, it is hardly 3,000 or maximum 5,000. Do you think that a family can survive in 5,000? When I came to Bangalore, the junior advocate salary, in general, I'm talking about, it was hardly 10,000 or maximum 12,000 based on the law firms. One day, when I was going through the files, my senior knew that I had already started appearing before the courts. I used to argue, I used to do cross examination. He made me sit and understand. The difficulty of a senior comes is that he cannot pay you more, reason being that he has other juniors also. You look into my law firm, we are a team of 40. So we are running in 4 branches. Bangalore is the head office. We have our branch in Pune, we have it in Chennai, and we have in Hyderabad. What my senior told me that day is that as a junior advocate, you give your 30 days time to the law firm or to your senior. How much does a senior pay you? Hardly, let us take it as 15,000 with some extras, some chai ka kharcha, वगैरह. It is 15,000. So for 30 days, your salary is 15,000. Go out of the office, start your own practice. You have same 30 days. Don't you really think that your potential will get you one client a month? If you get one client a month, that client in Bangalore will surely pay you 15 to 20,000, maximum 30,000. Meaning that your income is increasing, and in Bangalore we do not get more than one date of hearing in a month. So you have 29 days to work on your career, to make yourself understand how to make clients, or to make yourself understand how good you are, wherein the clients can come. Because with that simple agenda, I started Hariom Legal. When I moved to Bangalore, because I am not a resident of Bangalore, when I am a resident of a tier 2 city called Hubli, which is also called as Chota Bombay, because it is exactly in the middle of Bangalore and Bombay. When my senior told me this, then I got one case in Bangalore in 2020, just before COVID. One matrimonial dispute, because I had done a video conference. The consultation was done through video conference. The client insisted me to come to Bangalore to file a case. I still thank that client because she is the one who believed in me, insisted me to come to Bangalore and start my career. I used to travel to and fro from Hubli when this case had happened. So this is 19 and 20 during that year. Then the COVID started. Then I used to take leave from my senior. Then my senior understood that I have case in Bangalore. Then he told me one thing. How many years you are there with me? What max I can give you is knowledge. Because I cannot give more than the financial capacity what I have. No organization does it. No organization tells that I will pay you 1 lakh merely we earning 10,000. No organization does that. So my senior was so good. He told me one thing. Move to Bangalore. Start word of mouth. Start a good law firm. If you want, work under a senior for few days to understand Bangalore courts. Because every court differs. Because Bangalore as a metropolitan city is completely different as Hubli. What fees we get in Hubli, 5 times more we can get it in Bangalore. The moment I came here, I also worked for few months under a senior in Bangalore. Then I thought that I will establish my own law firm. We started with just team of two. I, one of my associate. We established our Koramangala office way back in 2020 during COVID. During COVID, we established our office. And slowly, I used to ask my seniors how to get. This profession does not go on advertisements. This profession goes on word of mouth. How good you are in this profession. I had few issues at my initial stage. Whoever client comes to me, the first question they used to ask, सर आपको कितने साल का प्रैक्टिस है? बोले तो एक्सपीरियंस कितना है आपका? Normally this happens once in at least in the field of medical and in the field of legal. The first question, आपको आता है या नहीं आता है पूछते नहीं है वो लोग. The main question they ask, सर कितने साल का प्रैक्टिस है? One good thing what happened, I look old. But I am not so old. I am less than 30. So I started getting clients, and that client started getting me more clients. That is how we started in Bangalore. 2020 we started in Bangalore. Now we are running with 4 different offices. 2 are into litigation, 1 is into corporate, 1 is into intellectual property rights. Soon we'll establish in Delhi. So once that comes, so we'll be having a full-fledged office in Delhi also. So having a legal education as a career, you need to majorly focus on working on yourself. The seniors can teach you only to a limited extent, not more than what has been permissible. Every senior always thinks, let my junior go and start his own independent practice. Because every senior is always a junior under someone. No senior will be directly a senior. He might have also worked for a few years under someone, he might have established. So, one good thought my senior put me during my young law career, just that work for few months or 1 year, understand the process, be very loyal to your clients. Because this profession will be through word of mouth. If the clients tell that you are good, you will get more clients. There's no advertisements. Under the Advocates Act, advertisement is strictly prohibited. You can never see an advertisement of a law firm or a lawyer. It is only through word of mouth. So, as a first generation lawyer, I always advise come to litigation, have your own practice, have 10 clients, that is sufficient. Because the growth happens exponential here. Because when I started, it was hardly 1, 2 clients. Now I have 800 plus clients.
As you said, now I always feel the word practice. Now I really like that word a lot. I feel experience is nothing. Okay, it changes every day, and the doctors, lawyers, the because it's really that world is dynamic. And people who are saying, I am experienced, I have experience of so many years. That experience again, it's now it was earlier. It was like after few years things are changing. In last maybe 1, 3, 4 years, things are changing every week, every day. It's so dynamic.
Everything is new. Every day, everything is new.
Every day is a completely new thing. So I always feel that's why I use that word practice. I'm practicing. Because and I think our audience, if you can learn this thing, that instead of using experience, start using practicing.
Experience matters to an extent what is to be considered.
Correct.
But it is always the day to day practice what has to be adopted. Because we have best of the experienced advocates who are nothing. तो उनको होगा 50 years in bar, 40 years in bar, doesn't mean that they have good client base. It is just that how loyal you are towards your client, how good you are with your clients, and how good you are before the court. Because whoever comes to me, the first thing they ask, sir, हम लोग जीत जाएंगे ना? Do we win this case? I always tell them that if you are really coming telling that I will win this case, then that is wrong. You tell me the facts, I will put my law in that, whatever is the applicable law. I will put forth before the judge. I am not the judge who's going to decide on the matter. I am just mediating between you. Your facts are put through before me, before the judge, through me. So whoever comes with a mental notion telling that, sir, हमको जीतना ही चाहिए, I don't take this clients. Because the moment you come with a thought process that winning is only the option, then if it goes other way, then that is a negative impact on my career. I always make them understand that आप सही हो, जो भी आप बोल रहे हो ना, whatever you're telling, it should be the similar aspects have to be told before the court. Court also has to think the same way. Because there is a neutral person who's sitting there. I cannot put forth my influence and tell that you are correct always. You are correct to an extent wherein your facts, where the law is applicable, and what is your grievance. Because grievance is always addressed through a proper procedure by a court of law. Because the first thing, that is what I do with my clients. If you are telling that you want to win, please don't come to me. If you are telling that you want justice, please come to me, I'll guide you. Because winning is not an option. Getting justice is always an option.
One thing I want to ask, because anyway, this particular law topic now it's so huge, was that it will take hours of discussions, and there is no end for that. But yeah, with the time constraint, we will take pause for this episode today. Before signing off, I want to ask one thing. I always get fascinated why the association called Bar Council. Why that bar name came? Because bar is completely something different what we see on the roads and all.
Now, the notion of having a bar council or the group of advocates is considered as bar as a practice what has been followed. Okay, it has a very huge history where we call it as a bar and a bar council, because every person, if whenever I call my friend and he asks me where are you, I tell that I'm sitting in bar. जो thought process मेरे friend को रहेगा, what he thinks is that I'm sitting in some bar. But what thought process, that is why we always tell, have clarity on what you talk.
Okay.
So it's a huge history wherein it is a traditional practice what has been followed, where we have a concept of bar, group of individuals, group of advocates sitting together or having an association together is considered as a bar. That is what we focus on.
We'll come with the complete detail episode for bar in coming days. We always give one small appreciation token to all of our guests. So I want to present you that thing. So this is like from our side.
Sure, sir. Thank you so much.
And we always want everyone to remember us every day morning when they are starting your day.
Sure.
So thanks a lot again, Prabhu sir,
my
for
privilege
coming
to
here
come
and
here.
giving time and sharing so amazing knowledge to us. So for everyone, please keep supporting Asli Kahani. We'll be coming up with so many more amazing podcasts in coming days. Thanks a lot for watching.